All right, let's talk. The crypto game has a new playbook for 2025, and frankly, 99% of investors are still running plays from last season, while most people are sticking to the old buy and hope for the best strategy. A handful of savvy investors are making serious moves by understanding the massive shifts happening right now. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the advanced strategies, from picking winning sectors to building a pro-level portfolio, that are setting the big winners apart. What you learn here will completely reframe how you see crypto for this bull run and all the ones to come. I've spent the last 7 years in these markets. I've made the dumb mistakes, learned the tough lessons, and seen what actually works. And the truth is, the game has changed. The floodgates for institutional money creaked open with the approval of spot Bitcoin ETF in January 2024. The crypto market has grown up into different sectors, and the regulatory world is finally paying attention. Sticking to the old buy and hodl strategy is like showing up to a Formula One race with a go-kart. It's time for an upgrade. So if you're tired of seeing other people catch life, changing wins while you're either stuck on the sidelines or even worse, losing money, you need to listen up. We're going to break down, step by step, the ridiculously simple process to start thinking and investing like a pro. And hey, if you get any value from this, do me a solid. Hit that like button and subscribe for more content that cuts through the noise. Let's do this. First things first, we need to understand why the old rules are broken. What's so different about 2025? There are 3 big reasons, and ignoring them is like playing financial Russian roulette. The first is institutional adoption. It's not a buzzword anymore, it's real. When spot Bitcoin ETF got the green light in the U.S. in January 2024, it gave hedge funds, asset managers, and corporations an easy, regulated on-ramp. This has added a huge new layer of demand, but let's be clear, it doesn't mean volatility is gone, far from it. What it does mean is that the market is smarter. You're no longer just competing with other retail folks. You're up against pros with deep pockets and teams of analysts. They don't buy on hype, they buy on data. You need to start thinking like they do. The second new rule is market maturation and sectorization. Crypto isn't just Bitcoin and a bunch of random altcoins anymore. It's matured into an ecosystem with distinct sectors, just like the stock market has tech, healthcare, and energy. We now have Layer 1 and Layer 2 blockchains, decentralized finance DeFi, real-world asset RWA tokenization, gaming, and AI crypto projects. In past cycles, a rising Bitcoin tide tended to lift all boats. That's becoming less of a sure thing. In 2025, capital is rotating between these sectors based on new tech, narratives, and value. Just buying a random bag of coins is a good way to underperform. You need a thesis for why you're investing in a specific part of the market. We'll get to exactly how in a minute. And the third rule is the shifting macroeconomic and regulatory environment. Governments are no longer ignoring crypto. They're actively building legal frameworks, though the approach is anything but uniform across the globe. This brings both clarity and chaos. On one hand, regulation can attract more conservative money. On the other, a crackdown in one country can wipe a whole category of tokens. At the same time, the long-term theme of currency debasement remains a tailwind for hard assets like Bitcoin. But the immediate picture is more complex as inflation has cooled in some major economies. You have to be selective, you have to be smart. So, to recap, the game is now influenced by institutions, divided into distinct sectors, and navigating a tricky regulatory and economic landscape. The old strategy of throwing money at a few popular coins and praying. It's looking pretty outdated. The new strategy is about being precise, structured, and having a plan. So how do you actually build a plan like a pro? It all starts with a concept they live by, the the sector thesis. This one shift in thinking is a total game changer. Instead of asking, which coin should I buy, smart money asks, which sector of the crypto market looks ready to pop over the next 6 to 18 months. This forces you to think from the top down. You spot a powerful trend or narrative, and then you find the best projects in that lane. It's the difference between blindly picking stocks and saying, I believe I is the future, so I'm going to find the best companies building it. Let's run through some of the key sectors in 2025 so you can see this in action. First, you have the infrastructure and layer 1 blockchains. These are the digital operating systems everything else is built on. This is home to the big dogs, Bitcoin BTC and Ethereum ETH, the blue chips of crypto. But you also have challengers like Solana SOL, known for its wild speed and cheap fees, which makes it a favorite for apps with lots of users. A thesis here could be, as more people use crypto, the demand for fast and cheap block space will explode. I'm betting on the layer 1s that are winning over developers and users. Next up is decentralized finance DeFi. The goal of DeFi is to rebuild the entire financial system, lending, borrowing, exchanges, on the blockchain, cutting out the middlemen. Protocols like Aave and Compound let you earn interest on your assets, while exchanges like Uniswap let you trade directly with other users. A thesis for DeFi might be built on the idea that as people seek alternatives to traditional banking or look for better yield, capital will find its way to proven and secure DeFi protocols. Then we have one of the hottest emerging narratives, real-world asset RWA tokenization. This is about taking real-world stuff, like real estate, U.S. treasuries or company stocks, and putting it on the blockchain as a token. This sector is building the bridge between trillions of dollars in traditional finance and the world of DeFi. Your thesis could sound like this. The next tidal wave of value will come from tokenizing real-world assets. I'm going to invest in the platforms building the secure infrastructure to make that happen. And finally, you have hot sectors like Web3 gaming and AI. Gaming is seen as a Trojan horse for bringing millions of new users into crypto, while AI projects are using blockchains for things like decentralized computing and data verification. See the difference. When you start with a sector thesis, you're not just gambling on a coin. You're making a strategic bet on where the technology and the users are heading. Once you've picked a sector, then you dig in and find the 1 or 2 leaders with the best tech, team, and community to capture that growth. That's how you find those monster returns, not by luck, but through a smart, repeatable process. Okay, you've picked your sectors. Now what? How do you actually put it all together into a portfolio that balances big shot potential with not losing your shirt reality? Most retail investors get this wrong. They either play it too safe with just Bitcoin, or they go full-on degen, betting the farm on a few speculative altcoins. Smart money and institutions use a proven framework called the core satellite model. It's simple, it works, and it's the best way to set yourself up for the long haul in 2025. Picture your portfolio like a solar system. At the center is your core. This should be about 60% of your crypto portfolio. This is your foundation, made up of the biggest and most established assets, Bitcoin and Ethereum. A common split is 40% Bitcoin and 20% Ethereum. Why? Because BTC and ETH are the bedrock of the crypto economy. Bitcoin is seen as digital gold, an inflation hedge with massive institutional buy-in. Ethereum is the king of smart contracts, where most of the DeFi and NFT action happens. Your core holdings are your defense. They give you stability. They might not do a 100x, but they're designed to capture the market's overall growth and protect your capital when things get choppy. Orbiting your core are your satellites. This is about 30% of your portfolio. This is where you put your sector bets to work. This is where you hunt for those outsized returns by investing in promising large and mid-cap altcoins from the sectors you identified. This 30% might be split across 5 to 10 different coins in areas like Layer 2s, DeFi, or RWAs. These are higher risk, higher reward plays. They have more room to run, but also more volatility. The key here is to diversify so that one bad bet doesn't sink the ship. Finally, in the outer orbit, you have your liquidity and downside protection layer. This is the last 10% of your portfolio, and you keep it in stablecoins like USC or UST. This 10% does two critical things. First, it's a cushion. When the market inevitably tanks, this part of your portfolio holds its value. Second, it's your dry powder. Having cash ready during a crash is an incredible offensive weapon. It lets you buy top-tier assets like Bitcoin and your favorite satellite coins at a massive discount when everyone else is panicked selling. This is how fortunes are made. As the old saying goes, bull markets make you money, but bear markets make you rich. That 10% cash position is your ticket to getting rich. So, to recap the model, 60% core BTC, ETH for stability, 30% satellites altcoins for growth, and 10% stablecoins for defense and opportunity. It's a balanced plan that takes emotion out of the driver's seat. Mid-video CTA, I know we're getting deep in the weeds here, but my goal is to give you the real strategies that actually work. If you're finding this helpful, check out my free community newsletter. It's where I share my latest market thoughts, portfolio updates, and deep dives into specific projects I'm watching. It's 100% free, and it's the best way to stay ahead in this market. The link is right there in the description. Once your portfolio is built, the next level is making your assets generate passive income or yield. In 2025, this goes way beyond just basic staking. While staking coins like Ethereum or Solana is a great start, the pros are looking for more. A popular strategy is lending on DeFi protocols like Aave or Compound. They work like decentralized banks where you can deposit assets, especially stablecoins, and earn interest from borrowers. It's a great way to put that 10% dry powder to work, turning your defensive cash into a productive, income-generating asset. Another move is providing liquidity on decentralized exchanges DEX. Platforms like Uniswap need pools of tokens to make trading possible. You can provide liquidity by depositing a pair of assets like ETH and USC, and in return, you earn a cut of the trading fees. This can be super lucrative, but it comes with a unique risk called impermanent loss, which you absolutely need to understand before jumping in. For the more adventurous, there's restaking. Protocols like EigenLayer let you take your staked ETH and use it to help secure other networks at the same time, earning you extra rewards. This can stack multiple layers of yield, but be warned, it also stacks multiple layers of risk, like slashing penalties. The returns here are highly variable and often come as points or other incentives, not straight cash, so it's definitely not a free lunch. Finally, the overlap of traditional and decentralized finance has brought us tokenized real-world assets that pay yield. You can now buy tokens representing a piece of a U.S. Treasury bill and earn that government-backed yield on-chain. It's a great way to get a stable yield source that isn't tied to crypto's wild swings. But remember, while the T-bill itself is safe, the token wrapper introduces new risks like smart contract bugs or issues with the issuer. The bottom line is this: generating yield is a powerful tool, but every strategy has risks. Your job as a smart investor is to do your homework, understand those risks, and spread your bets across different platforms to find the right balance between high returns and keeping your capital safe. Section 5. The unsexy but critical rules, risk management, and exit planning. This next part is the least glamorous, but I promise you, it's the most important. This is what separates the pros from the amateurs. I'm talking about hardcore risk management and having an exit plan before you even start. In a market this volatile, defense wins championships. Rule number 1. Never risk more than you can truly afford to lose. It sounds obvious, but it's the most broken rule in crypto. Be at peace with the idea of your investment going to zero before you click buy. Rule number 2. Know your exits before you enter. This means setting clear price targets for both taking profits and cutting losses. A stop loss is a preset price where you sell to prevent a small loss from becoming a disaster. A take profit level is where you sell a chunk of your position to lock in gains. Too many investors get greedy. They ride a coin up 500%. Don't sell a dime and then watch all those paper profits vanish. Smart investors pay themselves along the way. A simple strategy is to sell 25% of your position every time it doubles. This forces you to secure profits and lower your risk. Rule number 3 is regular rebalancing. Your core satellite portfolio will get out of whack. Maybe an altcoin goes on a monster run and is now 20% of your portfolio instead of the 5% you planned. Rebalancing means you trim those winners and move the profits back into your core holdings or your stablecoin stash. It's a disciplined way to sell high and buy low. Finally, a quick word on tax planning. In most places, crypto gains are taxable. You need to be aware of the tax rules for trading and earning yield. Strategies like tax loss harvesting, selling losers to offset gains from winners, can save you a fortune. The rules are always changing, so stay on top of them or talk to a professional. Don't let a tax bill be a nasty surprise at the end of a great run. Mastering these unsexy rules, stop losses, taking profits, rebalancing, and tax planning is what turns gambling into investing. It's the discipline that will keep you in the game for the long run. All right, we've covered a ton of ground. We've talked about how the 2025 crypto market is playing by new rules, driven by big institutions and a focus on sectors. We broke down how to think like smart money by creating a thesis for your investments. We walked through the core, satellite models, 60% core, 30% satellites, 10% stablecoins, to build a balanced portfolio. We explored how to make your assets work for you with advanced yield strategies. And, most importantly, we covered the critical rules of risk management to protect your capital and lock in those gains. The buy and hope days are fading. Success in this market demands a real strategy. You're now armed with the exact frameworks the pros are using. The opportunity in crypto is still absolutely massive, maybe bigger than ever, but it now favors the prepared. Your journey to becoming a smarter, more profitable investor starts today. Take these strategies, do your own research, and start building your plan. Don't just sit on the sidelines. The future of finance is being built right before our eyes, and you've got a front row seat. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you, please smash that like button, subscribe for more, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss what's next. Drop a comment below and let me know which crypto sector you're most bullish on for 2025. I read every single one. Until next time, invest smart.